Hello everyone, and welcome to Miss Meghann's Craft Time. So today we're going to make one of these beautiful book covers with just some items that you can find around the house. So you're going to need a pair of scissors, a pencil, a couple of markers, a book to cover, and most importantly, an ordinary paper grocery sack. You can usually get these at the grocery store when they bag your groceries. Just ask specifically for paper instead of plastic. So the first thing we're going to do is clear out some of our space here so we have some room to work. I'm going to set these things aside. And we're going to focus on this paper sack. Now, in order to use it for a book cover, what you're going to need to do is take it apart so that it's one long piece of brown paper. So to do that, you're just going to need to rip a little bit along the seams. Don't worry too much about ripping some of the edges and the lining like up here. We're going to probably be folding or cutting those pieces off, so you don't have to worry about those too much. Okay, now that you have your paper sack all folded out, you want to make sure that if there's a logo on it, that the logo is facing towards you. This way we can hide it when we fold the book. Next, grab your book that you would like to cover. And we're just going to measure it against our paper to make sure that we fold it in a way that it's going to fit. Since every book is different, you probably have to do this step with each book that you're trying to cover. Okay, so we're going to take our pencil and we're going to mark on the paper sack the top and the bottom of the book. And when you move it aside, see we have a line here and a line here. This is marks for us where we need to fold the paper in order to make the top edge and the bottom edge of our cover. So, somewhat trickier than you would think to fold this large piece of paper. So to make it a little easier, sometimes what you can do is trim it up a little bit. But you don't want to go too far because we're going to need these extra sides here in order to cover the front of the book. So you fold on your then we'll lay our book back on top just to make sure that we've folded the right way. If you've got a little bit of extra on the top and the bottom, that's okay, it's not a big deal. What's going to happen when we finish the book cover is those little extra pieces are going to fold down a little bit on their own. So don't worry too much if you have a little bit of extra on the top and on the bottom. Okay, next what we're going to do is fold in our sides as we need them. So you're going to open the book up and you're going to mark on your brown paper where the edges are. Now is a really good time to trim that extra. You want to make sure that you leave at least a good 5 or 6 inches from the edge of your book because we're going to need that much to fold over. So I'm just going to trim the little extra that we have here. Right there. So right up here. All right, now this is where the magic happens. So we have our line right here, and you're gonna fold down across this line just like you did on the top and the bottom. Make sure you give it a good crease. Now, what you wanna do with this fold, you notice there's a little pocket right here. You want the edge of your book to go into that little pocket. And sometimes that's a little easier said than done. So slide that on in right there. And like I said, if you have a little extra at the top or a little extra at the bottom, not a big deal. It actually makes it a little easier to slide the cover in. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but it can be a little bit more difficult to get that book edge into the cover. You may have to bend the cover up just a little bit in order to get that to slide on the right way. Excellent. There you go. Now you have a very beautiful form-fitting book cover. So now we're going to talk about how this turns into this. To decorate the cover of this book, I used an art style called Zentangle. Zentangle is really easy to do, and there's really no rules other than just making art. Even if you're not a really great artist, it's okay. You just pretty much doodle. It's meant to be more relaxing than beautiful artwork. But as you can see, the results come out pretty amazing. So to get started with your Zentangle cover, you're going to need some markers. I like to use a fine point marker and then an extra fine point marker in black. But you can pretty much use anything that you have laying around the house. To start your Zentangle, you're going to draw lines from edge to edge on your book cover. These lines could be curvy, straight, they could be short or long. It really doesn't matter. It's all up to you. And there's no such thing as a mistake. Once you have your lines drawn, you'll notice on your cover you've made little compartments or spaces. You're going to fill these individual compartments with little doodles. I'll show you how to do the first one. So to start out your doodle, what I like to think of are geometric shapes. So let's say I'm feeling like circles today. Why not? So in this empty space, I'm just going to draw a bunch of circles. And you say, "But Miss Meghann, that doesn't look like anything." True enough. What you're going to do with your simple geometric shape, or whatever simple design you've decided to draw first, is you're going to get a little bit more detail in. This is where I like to use the extra fine Sharpie marker. So inside of your circles, you may decide you want to draw more circles. And the goal is just to fill up the empty space with any kind of doodle you like. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this, and if you make a mistake, just keep going. Chances are no one will notice anyway. And to be honest, that's true for regular art. So just fill in those empty spaces with whatever kind of doodles you want. And if that's not specific enough for you, you can always go a little bit more specific and draw little things in the backgrounds. I would say a rule of Zentangle is to leave no empty spaces, but that's not even a rule of Zentangle. Really, it's just whatever you feel like. We're going to speed things up a little bit so you can see how this whole cover turns out. And here it is, an up-close look at our beautiful Zentangle cover. Don't forget, you can always add colored markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything to make your cover yours, because that's what's important. I hope you enjoyed making your Zentangle cover. For more information about Zentangles, be sure to check out all the Zentangle books at our library. You can request one by stopping into one of our 10 library branches, or by checking out our catalog online at www.clermontlibrary.org. If you enjoyed our video today, I hope you'll leave in the comments any other drawing videos that you would really love to see. What we'll do for these videos is just use a book that exists in our Clermont County Public Library and do a walkthrough or one of two of the different drawing styles step by step. Just let me know if you're interested in the comments. Thank you for joining us today for Miss Meghann's Craft Time. Have a wonderful day!